What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about everything PLL. As you guys know, or probably know, the PLL just wrapped up its inaugural season with the Whipsnakes, or the WhipTERPS, whatever you want to call them, winning the championship in a thrilling overtime match. So I just thought it'd be a great chance for us to sit down, talk about what they did really well throughout their first season and what that means for the women's game. Because as you know, the PLL and WPLL are partners, and fingers crossed as we go into year 2, we can continue to work that partnership and grow the game for both men's and women's lacrosse. So let's dive right on in. Let's go. Go WhipTERPS or Whipsnakes or whatever you want to call them. Go Terps. So first of all, in this inaugural season, the PLL, in my opinion, crushed it. There are a couple of areas which they did so well. I was incredibly impressed. First of all, the NBC sponsorship was huge. I got my gold pass, so I got 39 games for $39, which was awesome. I could watch them while I was traveling. I could watch it on TV. Watching high level lacrosse at any kind of on any streaming device is great, but the level of quality of this production was awesome. From the sky cams to the mics and the players' helmets, you know, talking to players right on the field after a goal is scored or after a big play. You as viewers got to see, and me as a viewer, got to see from their perspective what happened, how plays happened, hear from them firsthand, which was just so cool. Plus the quality of TV from the sky cams to different camera angles was sweet. So NBC, that was huge. I think they sold 3 times what they expected in those gold passes, which is awesome for the league moving forward. It shows that there is a ton of interest. They crushed it there. Second thing I think they absolutely dominated was all the social media content they put out. We're in a social media age, a digital age, from YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. The people and the content creators from RJ and Brett, everybody on that team hustled their butts off all season long and for months leading up to the launch of the league, training camp, what have you. The content was like at your fingertips the second it happened. It was absolutely insane. So to those guys, some of them are my friends. Congrats on an incredible season of just working your butts off. Katie DeFeo flew in from California to Philly for the championship and back. She's a college athlete, making time and sacrifices to do something she loves. I know all of those people love what they did and love the people they were with. So their product at the end of the day was top notch. And third, I think considering I can't even imagine what it's like to start the league from the ground up, I thought they handled this first season was pretty much flawless. So from the TV to the social content, to you guys getting an in-depth look into the personalities of each of these players. I know me as a fan, me as someone who has some friends in the league, but who just loves the sport in general, it was really cool to see. So pretty much PLL, way to go. You guys crushed it. It was so fun to watch. If there was one thing I would have to say was a worry of mine about the league at the beginning, it would honestly be a worry that was similar for when we started the WPLL and shifted away from one, having names on our jerseys or like states representing us, like the Boston Blanks or the Philadelphia Blanks. I thought that was gonna be tough. The touring model that the WPLL does and the PLL did this summer, hitting different cities every week, I knew it was gonna be a grind for the players and the staff just from having done it myself. But you always wonder, how are they gonna retain fans? People usually identify because of where they live. Their geography often determines where and who they root for. So that's always a concern going into, you know, any sort of touring model where it's not the New York Redwoods, have you. So I think it took a couple weeks for, you know, people to figure out what team they were die hard for. But you looked in the stands of that championship game and there were so many Redwoods fans, so many Whipsnakes fans. People really started to identify with the team, love the team and the players that were on specific teams. So I think by the end, they have created this culture where it doesn't matter that there's not a geographical tie to these teams. I think it took a couple weeks for that kind of passion to build, but by the end you saw some diehard Redwoods fans, some diehard Whipsnakes fans, even throughout this playoff series, Chrome, Chaos, Archers, Atlas, everyone has their group, and I think that is just great for the sport. So what started as a worry for me, I actually think by the end the PLL did a really nice job kind of bringing those fans in, giving them something to be passionate about, and aligning themselves with the team. And I think in the years 2 and beyond, that will continue to grow. What I'm most excited for, and what I think hopefully is going to happen and should happen, just from a total outside perspective with no insight into the business side of it, you know, you hope as the years go on, they continue to expand. Paul Rabel kind of alluded to it in his championship interview at the end as a sideline reporter, that there are talks of, you know, expanding to a different number of teams. I think the more years that go on, the more talent they're gonna get in, and they're going to have to expand in order to, one, give everybody a chance to play, but two, make the league more competitive, more fruitful, and just continue to grow the game, the league, and the sport. So hopefully, fingers crossed for year 2, they continue to get some more teams, and I can't wait to see what the names and logos of those teams are. And finally, what does this mean for the WPLL? As you guys know, the PLL, WPLL, we're partners. I think the PLL has really set the standard for what summer lacrosse and professional lacrosse can look like in terms of TV production, in terms of content creation, in terms of paying the players what they deserve to be paid. I know us in the WPLL, we're not there yet, but we have people working every day to kind of get to that level and beyond for women, for women's athletics, for women's sports, for women's lacrosse, and just for the players. There's so many players and administrators and parents and teammates and fans who are passionate about getting women's lacrosse on the same platform as men's lacrosse. And with the help of the WPL, with the help of so many amazing players and coaches and allies and advocates, both in the lacrosse world and not, I think we have a really good chance in the next few years of not only growing the game and hopefully getting our professional league on that stage and up to that kind of production, but hopefully getting lacrosse into the Olympics. Whatever spotlight is being shown on the men's lacrosse world is hopefully going to help the women's lacrosse world in turn, in terms of, you know, Olympics, World Cups, what have you, getting the players kind of up to the same standards as US soccer or football or basketball. So that's my hope, is that one day we can kind of get women's lacrosse in that realm. And it's gonna take a lot of hard work, and the PLL has shown that it's going to take a lot of hard work, but that, you know, we can do it too. So I'm really excited for the future of our sport, for lacrosse in general, for women's lacrosse, for men's lacrosse, and for, you know, the next generations to come who have the opportunity to really reap the benefits of some really hardworking people right now. So that's a wrap on kind of my take on the PLL inaugural season. Congrats to the Whipsnakes, to Matt Rambo, MVP of like everything, and all of the Terps on the Whipsnakes. I think there were 16 or 17 of them. Those guys had a lot of heartbreak in championships over the past couple years. One year we both had a really big heartbreak from national championships. So it's really nice to see them win it and be rewarded for all their hard work. Congrats to Paul Rabel, everybody involved in the PLL. You guys crushed it this summer. Can't wait for season 2. See you there.